Hi everyone, hi Jessica.
Hey, how you guys doing?
Yeah, good. Welcome back. This is the second day of this Adobe Live show with 4 different designers working on the same brief, and Jessica is our UX designer working in Adobe XD. And if you missed the show yesterday, maybe you will be able to recap.
Sure.
What happened yesterday.
So we are making for this segment a conference app, and so yesterday what we did was we took a look at what Christine worked on. She's been focusing on the branding, and so a lot of what she's doing in her stream is going to play a really important role in what we make here. And so we spent some time yesterday wireframing a login screen, a login flow, and then also a schedule screen. So if you look at, and I haven't touched anything minus adding more artboards, so very, very real. No time is, no behind the scenes work. And so from this check-in flow, what we have for this Android app would be that, and then alongside it was a schedule flow that we started. And since then, we have gotten some cool new logos that I will put in later, and then also some colors. And I did look at some stock photos in the background.
Okay.
And then what we're going to work on today is actually applying a layer of design, a layer of visual kind of branding to everything, and then also kind of developing out this sort of trend feed, which is the next sort of segment within our application.
Awesome. So also we want them also to create something for you and for the day challenge. So there will be like two changes. So the first one is in the challenge tab. Today we want them to design and share with us the poster of the conference. So to do so, we actually have they can access in the challenge tab a free stock template that they can use. And you know, if you edit this layer, so this is where you can create the poster for the conference with your own design. We also shared with you a link to the library, so they can also use the logo created by Christine. And yeah, we'll just add a background color here, this one. And if you save and come back, then it directly appears in the mockup. So this is, we want you to share this with us. So this is the Designer to Designer conference, a conference about design creativity, and the core value is create and share. Okay, so this is the first thing, but also you want to challenge them.
Oh yes, so in addition to the poster actually, so we have limited time, and so if anyone knows how to use XD or is learning how to use XD for the first time and you would like to participate in this challenge, we'd also love to see if anyone can mock up a wireframe for the profile page.
Yeah.
And so, you know, I'm going to be working on, we've done the check-in flow and we've done the schedule flow, and I'm going to work on trend today and apply some visual design to it in some more detail. But something that would be really, really fun to see any of our viewers do is a profile page. And so it'll go in here, and the requirements are you put it in a Android mobile device, and all we need is the following: first name, last name, job, location, and then a picture of the avatar that the person will upload or has a link to, and then social media. That's it. And then the editing state of it. So what it looks like when it's filled out, and then what it looks like when a user wants to edit it. So
okay, and you want it as a wireframe?
As a wireframe, yep. And then we will apply to polish later. Okay,
so take a screenshot. Maybe that's the best way to proceed if you want to create a screen with XD and share it with us. What you can do maybe is find a way to, how can we do that? Yeah, maybe share the XD project with us using Creative Cloud or Dropbox, and put the link in the chat. Okay, so you can use the chat for this, and the mods, they will just catch everything that you share, and
thank you, mods.
It should appear on my computer, and we will give away to your favorite wireframe. We can give away something. We can give away the XD socks and the XD notebook, okay?
Very
for
cool.
the great UX designers watching us. We will also do some random giveaways and give away these socks and this book to people in the chat. So make sure if you're watching to sign in and to say something in the chat to get a chance to win this. About the resolution, maybe we can repeat the resolution for Dan.
So the Android, so when you go to File New, just make sure that you select mobile and Android Mobile, and that's the resolution that we're looking for.
Okay.
Got it?
Good.
All right, happy making.
Okay.
All right, cool. So let's see, where are we? So from yesterday, we made a check-in flow. And I'm actually going to go ahead and do a little bit of polish today. From there, we're going to go into the schedule, finish that up, and then do trend. Now, some things I did from yesterday today, for those who have been watching since yesterday, is I added artboards for the trend flow. I added artboards for this communication thing, which we'll talk about in a second. And then I added a gigantic artboard for just kind of global styles. Because today what we're going to do is we're going to make components and elements that we can then kind of bring into the rest of the designs. Mm-hmm. And so I've got Creative Cloud Libraries open, and I'm actually just gonna, I don't know if this is the recommended workflow, but I like to just kind of snag these colors, and I'm gonna put them in here, make them bigger, and then just actually eyedrop them, so make my own sort of palette, if you will, I guess. And then add it to the colors within XD files, within this XD file. So we've got one here, and then the other one that I really want to use actually is this red one, which is a cool color, which seems to be the two major colors that we're leveraging.
Okay.
Yep. And actually, I'm also going to take this color, which is that black, and then add that there. So we've got these three colors. I'm going to add this to the palette.
Hey, Michael. We have Michael Crabtree watching us.
Awesome.
Give him a shout out. He was our guest last week.
Oh, very cool.
Working in XD, but on Windows.
Awesome. Oh, very cool. All right, so check-in flow. So one thing I did mention yesterday that I actually went ahead and downloaded today is if you go to File, you can basically get UI kits for Apple, Google, or Windows. And so I went ahead and I got the one for Apple. And I also wanted to get the one for Google to kind of show you how it works. But downloading sort of the components library, sticker sheet for Adobe XD. And you can also do product icons and such. And from there, I wanted to show you guys the Apple library real quick, which is really, really awesome if you're doing iOS stuff. Right here, I unzip this, and this guy right here, UI Elements, has this, which is a whole UI kit. So if I wanted to make an iOS version, and I was kind of working on the sort of type-in state for an iOS device, I could just copy that element and then put it here for my mock, right? So just kind of showing, and this is actually fully editable, so you can actually go through and do stuff, which is awesome. Well, actually that one's interesting. And then the XD one is for Android. So let me go to my downloads again and look at this. And
Nancy's asking, is there a training program for Adobe XD and After Effects? Yeah, so if you go on adobe.com on the product pages, such as xd.adobe.com, you will find the Learn section with free tutorials to get started with all the Creative Cloud apps.
Mm-hmm. All right, so what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to move these artboards over because we actually have a state in this check-in flow that requires a keyboard. I just wanted to show you that this is the sticker sheet for Material, which is for Android, and I'm going to take this keyboard, which you can just change whatever you want to change into it, and then I'm going to copy it over here. Since the keyboard's going to come up and it has a height of 273, we're going to just kind of bump this all up. What's my math on 273 with whatever. We're going to pretend that it moved up there. And then we're going to actually paste this guy in here. Ta-da! And then from there, we basically have now this kind of experience, whereas the user types right here and they click in here. So if you look at the prototype and you click on here, it'll actually push up. And I'm going to change that interaction state so that way it goes to here and it's going to be a push up. And then I'm going to go and do this as well and then do a push up. So basically we've got, and so you'll have a keyboard there. So that's just kind of one example of how you can really pop in a keyboard in 2 seconds and kind of one of those UI kits and really make this feel very, very real very quickly. All right, so I actually, what did Christine use for her typography kit? Do you know? Nobody knows.
Maybe Kathleen. Okay. Do you remember the typeface that she used?
Campton. I do not have that. All right. Well, I will get that later, and we'll keep using Helvetica for now until we have that. But we do have a logo, correct? Yes. And so if I were to go in, is this the final logo right here?
Yeah.
All right. Cool. So
maybe you can open it in Illustrator.
Yep.
Yeah.
So I actually just am gonna pop this over, and you said you were gonna show me how to turn this into SVG basically. Can I?
If you double click.
Okay.
It should be SVG already.
Okay. So what do I?
Let's try. Like if you come back.
All right. Now what? Export.
Yeah. Or copy paste.
Oh. I'll copy paste it over. Let's see. Raster.
It's a raster?
I think so. Yep.
Okay, so let's come back.
Oh wait. Oh, it is. It's masked. Nope. Wait, still around. Nope, it's definitely. Okay, cool. It worked. Yeah, it did work.
Yeah, it's embedded in a group.
It's embedded. Yeah. All right, it's cool. So we have the logo now. I'm probably gonna make it. Actually, what was the picture of the poster that won the last one? Didn't Christine say she wasn't going to, that she had a winner or something? I'm gonna just go ahead and turn this white, I think. And so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna select I'm going into the actual file and I'm changing it to white. Hopefully that should work. Nope, just kidding. It's this one. This one is white. How is it not working? Let's see. This one? Oh, here we go.
Oh.
And then this one is white. And then these two are white. Cool.
There we go.
And so this is the logo that we're going to use. And I'm actually, as I mentioned yesterday, from a design standpoint, we're going to be giving it some cool background thingamabobs, right? So for now, since we have some interesting colors, let's go ahead and do a gradient. So recently, the latest release for XD, we had linear, but now we actually also have radial. So for those of you guys who are curious about how gradients work, you can go to your fill, and instead of the solid color, you can pick linear gradient or radial gradient, and then from there adjust the colors accordingly. Radial is just like how you would assume it works, like with anything in the kind of Creative Suite. So in this case, let's do linear and do kind of a dark to light sort of experience. And then I'm gonna kind of take a look actually at the colors that we had and maybe start with orange and then do the kind of gradient from there. And so we'll go with this orange, and then I think I want to do for the dark side a blue. Can I just do that? I'm going for it that way. All right, cool. So now we basically have this sort of fun gradient, and I want to throw an image also in the background that's of a person. So took a look at some photos yesterday of people going to a conference of some sort. I'm gonna go from our CC library, and from here I'm gonna just pop it into this box, and now we've got people looking like they're attending a conference. And I'm actually gonna put this radial sort of gradient on top, or not radial, it's a linear gradient on top, and put it at sort of like an opacity. Actually, I think for this kind of image, I want to make it also subtle, so maybe like 40%. And actually, when I'm at it, I'm gonna make the actual artboard darker. Let's start with this, and then I like to actually, so side note for kind of unifying colors and harmony inside of a design, instead of just aiming for black if you want to darken a thing, I recommend you actually take one of the colors and just take from that family and darken. And so kind of do something kind of there. And then you've got basically this image right here that has a conference people going, and then on top of that, a little bit of a hue. Oh, shortcut real quick. So just like Photoshop, Illustrator, and all the other Creative Cloud shenanigans, you basically can hold command bracket left or right to move objects between layers. And so if you're looking actually at the layers panel right here, and I'm kind of selecting this color thing that is called path, is that it? Is that what it's called? Well, I'm gonna call it gradient thing. And so if you look at it, if I hold shift, I can put it all the way to the bottom, or if I hold shift and then hit right bracket, it goes to the top. And so just command and using the brackets can let you go between the layers pretty easily. So anyway, we're gonna put that gradient at the bottom, and now that I'm done with that style for now, actually, do I like the style? I like the style enough. We'll revisit. I'm gonna lock this, which is Command L. And then from there, we've got our snazzy logo. Maybe it has, I don't know what it has yet. I think I can't move it. I can't angle it or anything, right? Christine would kill me for that. Okay, cool. So we're gonna have our conference. Do we have a name underneath the logo that says like designer to designer?
Maybe in the library. Let me check.
All right, let's see. Oh yeah, actually,
there's one.
I should have brought that one in.
Yeah.
Whoops. All right.
But you can maybe just copy paste.
Yeah.
You know, go inside the Illustrator and copy paste the text.
Oh.
And you can turn it white.
Okay. Can I? How?
Or can you? Okay. Go back.
Yep.
Can you double click on this one?
Yes. Oh, I see. Going into that. I don't have the font.
That's why. Yeah. So you don't have the font of this one.
That's okay. I'm just gonna do it this way then. So let's see. Take this guy here.
Maybe you can turn it white in Illustrator to be easier.
Oh, how? What do you mean?
I don't know if it won't be easier to access the shapes. Okay, so
like, you know, I see what you're saying. So you're saying to turn it into outline strokes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Except then isn't it gonna affect the?
And with the typeface anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah, we won't have choice.
Okay.
See what I mean?
Yep. Well, we can just ask for a outlined version.
Oh yeah, maybe we can ask for it. Yeah.
We'll ask for it tomorrow. So it's for tomorrow. So for now, we'll just use the white one, and it will have that name right there. And I'm gonna actually go ahead and switch back to this asset version and create actually another color out of white. So we actually have a global white color as well. And I'm gonna take these two and also turn them white so they have that style. And instead of the box input field, now that we're kind of putting a little bit of design to it, I think that what we could do is we can just go ahead and make a sort of line. Now you can use the line feature if you want, but I'm gonna actually just go for a rectangle since we already have it here. And we basically have these two. Actually, let's go ahead and, no, let's do that. And then from there, let's start with this sort of, your label is in the input field sort of experience. And make sure that makes sense. And then from there, move this up a little bit. And then this login button, which was a wireframe button before, let's polish it. So let's turn the rounded rectangles into something that's even more like a pill effect. Let's give it a white color for the background, which is, since this object is grouped, by the way, and if you're paying attention to my clicks, if you just select the group, it won't adopt the asset colors. But if you go in here and you click on the actual color, then you can actually change that. So, and then I'm gonna go ahead and change this color to also be that color. And delete that. So now we've got, ooh, a little big. Let's actually make this 280 by, actually, let's make sure it aligns to this grid. And then actually also shrink the height to something like 60. And let's actually go ahead and, if Campton's gonna be the main font family, we'll just go ahead and do something like that for now. Cool.
If you go back to Illustrator, you should have the white logo in the library now.
Oh, beautiful. Wait, what? Go away. How do you make this go away? It's like
just
a cute
try
little
it.
Tool tip. I want to try it. I'm good. I know how to do that. All right,
okay,
cool.
so-
Libraries.
Yeah.
Ah, beautiful. This one. Wait, what just happened? What is that?
Very small.
Wait, really?
Mhm.
Oh, that's how small it is? No, that was
no.
just a fluke. Okay, cool. So, let's see. Ta-da!
There we go.
Look at that, real-time
So I can show you what's
collaboration.
the.
Yes.
Because it changed the UI. So when you drag and drop something from the library,
Uh-huh.
you can do it one time. Just drag and drop to again this one, for instance.
This one? Wait, oh, you mean like
vector assets? Yeah.
Yep. Oh, wait, drag and drop?
No, you have to. So you can click again.
Okay.
Yeah, 1, 2. You can. Yeah. Okay, that's good. Go in the properties panel.
Okay.
And this is where you can say edit the original, embed and stuff. Now it's here. It's in the properties panel.
Oh, I had no idea.
Yeah, we were looking on the top bar. Okay, where is this button? But that's a new UI introduced at Max.
Oh, okay. Well,
that's a contextual properties panel. So whatever you select, it will just
goes in the PI.
Yeah.
Very cool. Awesome. Okay, cool. So we've got this logo here. Kind of looking at how this looks like, and we'll probably want to send Kristen a screenshot. We might want one that is not, I guess I could put it left align, and then that's kind of, we'll just do that. Let's see how that works. Okay. It's kind of different. And then from there, we'll say enter your last name. And right here, we'll say enter your confirmation code.
Stay tuned, we will give away XD socks and the XD notebooks. So very cool giveaways in about 7 minutes. And just to get a chance to win these cool prizes, just make sure that you are signing in the chat. Okay, so you go on beanheads.net/live, you sign in and you say something in the chat, and our script will randomly pick someone.
All right. So now we are going to assume that this thing went up negative, what was it for? -3, -273. All right, and so it basically pushes this whole thing up, and you've got that. Oh, I forgot the button. Let's just assume that that button went right there as well. And from there, what we're going to do, oh, I forgot that. So this is an entry, and so it's gonna say Michael's name, and it's gonna be a slightly bigger version maybe with the label going up top, and we'll make that tiny. And then actually...
Now, Sean is saying that the colors are looking great on the sign-in. So.
Ah, very lovely.
That's
very lovely.
Thank you, Sean.
Thank you. 12 here, and this is going to say enter your confirmation code. So now that we have a user actually typing, going to go here, it's going to say, and then let's actually give it a little bit of a little typing line or whatever. So, and this will basically mimic a user and putting something here. So we've got last name, confirmation, and their prototype doesn't have any links yet, of course. Let's go ahead and make some hitboxes for those two areas.
The famous transparent inbox.
Transparent. I swear I keep asking, like, make hitboxes in the prototype mode. And so, oh, I see, and that line used to be it. So let's go ahead and go here. Let's actually disconnect this one, and then let's go here, and let's actually do that, and now it should work. Boop. Yep, cool. And so from here, I actually want to test it on my phone because I think that the interaction is a little weird. So for those of you guys who did not see this yesterday, I have my phone and I have a USB cable that's going to go into my computer.
And this is an Android phone, so
it
works both on Android and iOS.
And what I'm going to do is open up the XD app, which you can download through whatever your system's app store is.
Yeah.
And I'm going to just test this, which is live preview. So you can kind of see it. You can kind of see it. And so what I'm going to do is just test it. And I'm actually going to not do the push because I want to see if the gradient feels right as it pushes up, or if I should keep the gradient in the same spot actually.
And just move the fields. Yeah.
So let's just dissolve it for now, and then just kind of see how that feels. So I guess wait, do I like that? I mean, if you're looking at it and then you hit this and the keyboard pushes up, would you want that style to feel as if it moved up? I think I'd want it to not.
No, I think it's weird that the background
that it moves, right?
Yeah.
Totally. Okay,
feels
cool.
Weird.
So with that being said, I'm going to go ahead and move the background images. down bottom, and so they feel, so it's just the actual fields that are actually moving up, and so it'll look kind of like that. I think that's better. I agree.
Yeah.
Yeah, cool. All right, so you're typing in your name. This, we originally had it. I'm gonna actually go ahead and turn this into a symbol, Command K. Pops up in my symbol library. For those of you guys who don't know what symbols are, they're basically sort of these in-place time capsule sort of elements that you can repeat a million times, and when you edit the master, the parent sort of symbol, it changes it across any instance that you've made it again.
Yeah.
And so I actually turned that login button into a symbol, and that way I can just go ahead and copy it over and use it again. And I'm actually going to turn this instance into an opacity of 40, so it looks like you can't actually interact with it, but you know you have to do something eventually. It's still going to be 40, and for the sake of this Mox check-ins experience, we're going to go ahead and do the same thing where you have last name, first name. And
Sebastian is asking, if you design for Android, how many sizes do you design? I mean, here it's really like the first prototype, I would say. You design the first experience, so it's not like high fidelity for all the screen resolutions. So I guess that first you target like a classic resolution. You make sure the experience is good, you do some user testing, and after you can work with the hardcore designer to design for all resolutions. But I know that for Android it's tough.
Yeah, it is. There's a much wider sort of gamut, right? But you know, since I'm using a Pixel and I'm testing it on my Pixel, I'm trying to see it live there. Cool. And so we went through this experience, and the user is going to interact with this keyboard, which will go here, and then what will happen is they'll have finished typing everything, and then this will become enabled. And
Harry is asking, can we create symbols in XD? So first you create an
Easy.
element in XD, and you open the Assets tab.
Yeah, so if I'm in prototype mode, but if I were in regular design mode, let's say I made a rectangle that is red and I want this to be a symbol, then I can just go here and then either right click, make symbol right there, or hit Command K, and it adds it to this library. And now every instance of this symbol, if I were to actually change it, so let's say I made it this color, will change everywhere. Yeah, cool. So have you always liked Google phones? The endless debate. I have always used Android. I did Windows for like about 6 months to just learn the Windows system, but I very much like Android because I use a lot of Google apps. I use Gmail, I use Hangouts, I use Docs, and then it works very well with the Google system. They play nicely. I use Google Chrome.
Makes sense.
So, all right, cool. So from here, check-in's done. You can now hit login, and once you hit login, it'll take you to our next screen, which is schedule. To watch that real quick, you've entered your last name, you are typing a little bit more, you have the confirmation code, the button is enabled, and then that button will take us to schedules, this page. I'm going to actually erase the thing for checking in, because thinking about this prototype, this is maybe not necessary, especially if we're going to go into sort of a onboarding experience right here. And so this button will just go directly here, and we'll go ahead and make that interaction a slide up. So like that. Cool.
Nice.
All right, so check-in flow, pretty much designed assuming that there aren't major changes from there. All right, actually, I do want to try one thing real quick now that I'm looking at it, is I want to see what this looks like.
And make sure to be active in the chat on behance.net/live. It's time for the first giveaway. So we give away the XD Socks and the XD Sketchbook, where you can design, prototype, learn, and share. Okay, paper. So be active in the chat, say something, let us know where you're from, or if you have a question for Jessica. And we will randomly pick someone using our script and share the name with you.
Cool.
Okay, so checking flow, that looks good. And if you're just joining us, so we're with Jessica. She's designing an experience for a conference app.
Yep.
Conference designer to designer, fictional conference, and all our guests are working on this conference.
Yep. And so, and someone asked, what did I use before XD? It was a menagerie of, well, most people transferred over from Photoshop and Illustrator World to something. Some people use Sketch. Some people use other stuff. For prototyping, I use Axure a lot, actually.
Axure, yeah.
But then we got to this point now where I love using XD, but I do use Sketch as well. So, okay. So from here, let's go into. I actually added this gradient as a color, so I can use it later again. And we have this kind of fun little background and these cards and this global tab system. So I'm going to just kind of take a look at this button I made real quick and kind of create, use the guides from the button and make a tab system. And this is going to be global navigation on the bottom. And so from here, we will use one of those colors, maybe the black color, to be sort of this navigational element. And the navigation is going to have 4 things. It's going to have the schedule, it's going to have trend, it's going to have this communication screen, and then the profile, which some of you guys are hopefully working on. And from there, we're going to actually go to this process. But do you want to do that first, or?
No, I just wanted to say that we know who will receive the socks.
Oh.
So if you want to read the name.
Yes, Carlos Ruiz.
Yeah, Carlos.
Yeah, Carlos, congratulations.
Congratulations, Carlos Ruiz. You will be contacted on Behance. We will do more giveaway soon, so stay tuned during this show. We also invite you to share some posters for the conference. This is in the challenge tab. We can have a sneak actually of some entries, but we can because we receive a lot. There is no secret. Just do the work. Yeah, it's a very nice composition. This one,
nice.
Emmet, boom, straight to the point. It's more like a teaser. I guess it can work for 1 week, but after 1 week, you need to explain what's going on.
Maybe a URL at the bottom.
Yeah, at least. This one, very arty.
Yeah. Yep. Oh, very cool.
Create, with a reference to Illustrator.
Nice, nice. Oh, that one's fun too. Yeah. Really happy.
Very,
nice smiley face.
Playful.
People are really playing off
Christine and
smiley.
Kathleen. Here they are.
Is yellow a
Things
new color?
Things aren't always black and white.
It's like, I feel like I've seen yellow a lot. Oh, wait, I did see yellow on the palette.
Yeah, it's on the palette.
Very cool.
It's a conference for designer by designer. Yeah, with a nice isometric.
Nice.
Nice composition.
Yep.
Very nice. Designer. With the 2 dots. Okay, playing with the dots to create
with the G's. Yep.
Smart.
Creative.
Oh, a lot of proposal by Hadif.
Oh.
To be updated. Okay.
Yep.
Maybe if I refresh, it's already updated. No.
Yeah.
But we have the sans serif.
Yep.
Digital artist to vector artist. Wow.
Oh, that one's cool.
Interesting. So it could be a series of posters. Okay,
yeah.
I get it. Creative experience for space. Oh, yeah.
Oh.
That's nice. And wow, look at this one. So very arty with the composition.
Yep. Very cool.
With the sponsors.
Well, so looking at these posters, I feel like I need to put more yellow in my comp, so I will. All right, so what I just did, so you can get icons and stuff off of Adobe Stock, but another one I love using in general is the Noun Project for those more abstract one-off icons, and depending on the license. So I looked one up before this show for a trend icon. I literally Googled trend, and then I searched profile, and so I'm gonna go ahead and download the SVG of this profile. And then I'm going to also download this calendar icon, which is going to show that schedule, which is the first tab we see. And then lastly, I'm going to download this social icon, which will be the communication tab that I haven't exactly figured out a name for yet. And so these 4 icons, you can notice on my Chrome that you've got these. They're all SVGs. And so in XD, it's pretty easy to just port over an SVG. I'm actually just going to, since I've been working on this guy, I'm going to go to my downloads folder and actually just drag over, for example, this trend icon into my XD file. And you'll notice that you've got now this this SVG. And I'm going to do it for these 2. So this is the communication one that I liked. And then this one was the calendar one that I liked. It's kind of tiny. Let's make it a little bit bigger so you guys can see it. And then the last one is this profile image, right? So these are the icons that I think are really cool and would work really well for our app. And if you notice, with a noun project, it includes a license to make sure you're giving good attribution. Since this is faux, we're not going to worry about that.
Maybe you can explain one more time what you expect from them with the profile page.
Yes.
You can show it again.
Sure. So profile page, now that you guys have actually kind of started to see where the form styles are going, basically what we're looking for is a page that shows your own profile if you're using this app. So it should have your photo, your name, your job, where you are located, and then just some social media bio stuff. So it's whatever you guys think would work for a profile page. And we want edit state, and we want the just non-editable state.
Yeah, and you can just create it with XD and share the link in the chat. We just received one wire from actually by Yizu.
Very nice, awesome, thank you.
Yeah, profile page.
Very cool.
Title, it's a line on the right, short description, location, social, and some pictures. Yeah.
Love it. Awesome, thank you.
And you can edit with a background blur, I guess. Yeah.
Cool.
Good job.
Awesome, thank you. All right, so we're gonna make a nav right now, and I'm gonna take this SVG, and when you click into it, you can notice that the fill is already that default black. So I'm gonna switch it to our global color that's white. I'm gonna do the same for this guy. So he's gonna go white. And then this calendar app, the lines are a little bit thinner, but I'll deal. Actually, they look fine. And these are gonna also be white. Oops, there's one little portion there. That's will be white. And then the last dude here is this little, what is he, a little person? And he's gonna be also white, which is right there. And then this thing's gonna be white. And one of the reasons why I'm not just changing the color from the color picker, and why I highly recommend when you have global elements to change it from this asset panel, is because if I were to ever globally decide that white is not what I'm gonna do, and that I'm gonna go ahead and maybe make it pink or something for some crazy reason, you can actually go to the asset panel, right click on it, edit it, and change that color, and it'll change every single element. Let me zoom out. Every single element that ever had that white attribution, and change it in real time, which is pretty convenient when you're starting to create design systems in here. So I have these nifty little icons. They're gonna go in my little taskbar thing here. Let's make profile go on the right. Let's make this calendar icon be the first one. Let's make this little social happy person thing go there, and then the trend icon will be right here. And from there, I want to make some hit states for each of these, so I'm going to actually go ahead and make a fake invisible one again. Oops, wait, whoops, there we go. And I'm going to just copy this over actually for each of these. And I'm also going to go ahead and take the options on the top right, which allow you to either distribute evenly or to align in a certain manner. And I'm gonna just make sure that everything is distributed horizontally in a nice even kind of space. And just so I can look at it and make sure it looks right, I am going to go ahead and lock this for a second and line this up so that way it's also perfect. Line this up so it's perfect. Line these two up so they're perfect. And then line these two up so they're perfect.
Nice.
Cool. Actually, this trend icon though, what's going on here? All right, there. All right, cool. So now I basically have a sort of interactive bottom tab system.
Menu bar, yeah.
Menu bar. And I'm gonna move that over to my wireframe and get rid of this guy. And actually, just for a second, so I have a reference, I'm gonna do that. And let's go ahead and just get rid of this for a second and move our menu icon here. And I'm gonna turn these guys to 0 opacity again. You can change opacity easily through the fill, but if you're a shortcut person, you can use 1 through 0 to go from 10% to 100, or 0 twice to go to 0.
Oh, 0 twice. Okay.
And so now what we're gonna do is go to the prototype mode and make sure that when the user goes from this login to here, they're here. And if they click on that hotspot to trending, they'll go to this screen. And this will be a dissolve. And then if they go to this communication thing, it'll go to this guy. And if you go to the last one, which is this profile page, which we have people doing wireframes of, it'll go here. And so right now you can't see anything, but if I were to just kind of make a point, I guess that one shows like profile, right? And this, by the way, I just did in the prototype tab. So you can do design features in prototype mode, which is really, really nice, kind of single stream of thought, which is convenient. So I have my schedule page that I have these little interactive icons on. Schedule is not interactive because we're on the schedule page, but if I click to trend, I'll be able to go to trend easily. And what I also will do is I'll take this guy now and I'll copy him over to the trend feed. And what you notice is when I copy pasted this prototype element, it kept the interactions.
Yeah.
And so
that makes sense.
Yep.
So it killed the one that was actually looping on the same page.
I have to. Oh yeah, that too, which is really, really awesome, by the way. So what Michael was saying, which is like really great, is when I made the interaction going from trend on this schedule page to the trend feed, it worked because it was going from one artboard to the next. But when I actually copy pasted the whole thing over, that interaction became disappeared because of the fact that you can't link to the same artboard, which is really, really awesome. So we're gonna copy it again and then put it in the communication tab, and then we're gonna copy it again and then do it in the profile tab. And so let's see, this guy right here, by the way, I copied that guy over, and then this one's gonna be also here. Cool, so let's see if this works.
Hi, David Gonzalez. Jessica is working on macOS with Adobe XD. It stands for Experience Design. It's exactly for this, to design experiences. Here, Android app for a conference. Okay. Oh, no, it looks great.
Yeah, very nice. So now we're on the schedule page, and we're going to go ahead and click on trend. So that should work, but now you see it's not interactive. I can go back to the schedule page if I want, and then I'm going to go to the communication tab, which is the communicate, and then if I wanted to, I'm going to go to the profile. So interactive already.
So Vanessa, yes, those wires connect the artboards. In this case, that's the word in XD. What's good is that if you zoom out and you do Command A, you see all the connections. If you zoom out, here we go.
Ta-da! All the connections.
All the wires.
And I'll actually go ahead and publish the design spec since it's going on right now. All right, cool. So from here, we're going to finalize this trend feed. And then I'll put some polish on this later if we still have time. Depends on how fast I go. So the trend feed. So the idea I had for this was users are probably going to share on their social media platforms. You install a bespoke app for a conference app. You don't want to invest all your social media karma, if you will, in a bespoke app, right? Like you probably want to say, hey, I'm going to this great designer to designer conference, and so I want to show all my Instagram friends, right? And so knowing that that might be a behavior that users will have, what we're going to do with this trend feed is just simply aggregate all those social medias and then tie them to what we all know as hashtags.
Okay.
And so I think the first hashtag that someone had mentioned was designer. Whoa, what's going on here?
You type in white?
It's in white.
Yeah.
Excellent. So the first one is, what was the hashtag that Kristen mentions? Like designer to designer, right?
Yeah.
That was the first hashtag. So if that's one of the hashtags, we're going to go ahead and just do your typical pill button sort of thing. Actually, let's just do this real quick. So I already have a pill button. It's this login button. I'm going to actually break the symbol, which I'm going to right click, and then you can ungroup the symbol, and now it's its own, it's no longer tied to the other symbols. It's its own rogue element. And so I'm actually going to say designer to designer here. And I'm gonna change this pill to being blue. I'm gonna change this thing to being white, and see, it was this symbol, but you don't see any changes on the left. Oh, thank you, D2D conf 2. All right, cool.
Oh, wow.
So we're gonna go ahead and make the pill smaller, just a little bit. And this is gonna be the one that the conference is gonna promote. No, wait, I like D2D better. So let's do D2D. UXDconf. And so this will be the one that will show up on initial landing of this page. And so our users will know. But they can basically go through and then see all the rest. And so let's see, for example, let's say another hashtag is designer to designer conference, designer to designer. Another one is going to be design collab, and maybe another one is D2D swag, because we're going to have swag. Another one is maybe D2D inspiration, and then another one can be D2D friends. And so we'll have like this series of hashtags, and then we're gonna put them at like a little bit of an opacity. And what will happen is a person can look at this various, like kind of like a hashtag word cloud, if you will, and they'll be able to click on one of these, and then when they click on it, they'll be able to see feeds of various people posting. And so with this, you've got D2D on top, and actually let's make it this little gradient sort of style right here, since we have that. And I'm gonna actually change the gradient to go at an angle a little bit. Let's do something subtle like that. Cool. And so you've got this D2D sort of hashtag, and from there, this is actually not enough contrast. Let's do that. Let's make them blue, actually. You'll be able to see various feeds. So we'll use the grid that's default to this Android, which by the way is just a Command Shift apostrophe to pull up the grid, and the Command apostrophe to pull up the square grid. And we're gonna just kind of put some boxes there just as placeholder. We'll do something like this. Maybe this one's like bigger.
And Joe is asking you if you have any tips for getting starting in freelancing with UX design.
I don't. I'm not a freelancer.
So maybe you can explain where you work.
Yeah, so I work in-house. So I work as a UX designer at a company called ServiceNow. So we're like an enterprise company with a huge design team, and we do a lot of product design for enterprises. And then before that, I did agency work, so client services at Telepathy, which got acquired by ServiceNow. And so I really haven't, I did freelance, but most of my freelance was branding and marketing and not so much design. UX. Yeah. Yeah. So I don't have any tips. I'm sorry. So, but good luck. Okay, cool. So I guess the one tip I would have is make wireframes for your clients. Those are very useful in communicating concepts before you go to high fidelity. And then my next tip, I guess, would be before you show the wireframes, make sure you put them in front of the people who are potentially going to use it. So you get a good validation. All right, so what I did was I made a little image grid. And the idea here is that you would basically be able to scroll through this sort of feed, and it would show by a couple options. So let's actually take a look at what styles we have. So we've got this guy right here. Let's take this last name label and let's put it here, and let's actually make it black so that way you can actually, yeah, let's make it black. And then what we'll do is we'll make a arrow sort of. I'm gonna just turn this rectangle into a side thing and then delete that. And for those of you guys who are curious what I'm doing, not pen tool, I took a rectangle and I edited the shape. Yeah. And so I deleted one of the points. And then I'm gonna turn this blue as an action state, and I'm gonna make it a little bit smaller. And actually, let's just go ahead and do this. Okay, whoops, what the heck happened there? Did I make it? Oh, I see what I did. Let's do that. Okay, cool. So, oh, that's tiny. Make it a little bit taller. Yep.
Okay, and stay tuned. In 8 minutes, we do another giveaway.
All right.
The next one is posters made by illustrators live on the Adobe Live show.
Very cool. All right, cool. So I'm gonna just go ahead and tweak this a little bit so it's a nice little arrow button. It's gonna go by this trending. And basically what this means is that a user will be able to click on this and then choose between trending, new, whatever have you, and they will go to this and they'll see that this is all sorted by trending. And I'm going to turn this whole mosaic right here into, and I'll just show it to you on the side so you guys see what it looks like. What is that box?
Oh, there is a box.
There's a box.
Oh, yeah,
box is gone. All right, so I'm going to turn this whole mosaic into a repeat grid. And what that means is I hit Command R. You can also click on that button right there. Can you also? No, yeah, okay, cool. So I am turning this into a repeat grid, except I noticed that my box here was not perfect. There we go. And in turning into a repeat grid, what it does is it repeats whatever you have created, and so to infinite. Since I already have 10 pixel padding around all these elements, I'm going to adjust the padding between repeated elements to match. And now you've got this sort of endless mosaic pattern for your mock. If I were to go through and pick some pictures, so let's just go ahead and say that we're going to do something like this. This goes into this side, and then because I made the things on the side, you can basically go through and do something like this, where you're kind of playing with different mocks. I'm picking basically different objects within this library, adding them in, and then they fill as certain elements, right? So, and since this is a mock, I don't really care about how this is going to look perfectly, but just to kind of show the concept, if you will. I just used that one. That's pretty cool. All right, cool. And so what you see here is the repeat grid being used, and kind of a mock of like, here's people who are uploading random cool pictures. And these are all stock photos, but pretty good. Ah, thank you. Command S. I should save. Yes. All right. So from here, what we have is just kind of this sort of element. And one of the cool things about repeat grid is that you can actually edit after you've made the repeat grid. So I actually have this cool gradient right here. I'm gonna bring that element here or whatever and cut it, and then
I think that Laura shared a prototype with us for a wireframe for the profile page.
This is beautiful. Love it.
So with the logo on the top.
Very
profile,
cool.
You can edit here, I guess.
Oh yeah.
And your Facebook, you can log out.
Lovely.
Location, Marseille.
All right. Love it. Yeah. Is there an XD file for that yet? Or
yeah, so maybe, Laura, if you can find a way to share the XD file. Using Dropbox or Creative Cloud, you can directly upload your files and share the link with us in the chat.
So what I'm doing right now is just kind of playing around a little bit, but adding, for example, that gradient that we had, I'm actually putting it in the repeat grid. And so you can actually do that and it's dynamic. And so I'm making these sort of gradients, applying a little bit of that like gradient brand to this conference, and going through here. And if you look closely, what you have is, ta-da, all of these basically getting that gradient. So that's kind of repeat grid in a nutshell for repeatable elements such as this. And I'm going to actually put it here so you can see it. Now, something about artboards. So if you want to show a scrolling sort of interaction and you want to, let's see, let's just move this for a second. So right here, right now, it's cut off, right? So if you want to actually, and if I were to show you the prototype, I can't scroll. It just kind of is as is. You can go through and you can actually change the artboard to extend and scroll. And it's pretty easy. You just have to extend the artboard like this.
Okay.
But I should put a disclaimer. So we picked an existing template that came with Adobe XD, and so it came with things such as grids. It came with the guides.
Yeah.
It also came with a vertical cut line, the fold. So if you click on the artboard, you see right here it says vertical, the viewport height is 640. If I were to make a regular artboard out of nowhere, I hit A, which is the artboard, and then I just made one that kind of looks like an artboard, you'll notice that the scrolling, the PI shows that the scrolling says none. So it doesn't actually come with the full defaults if you just make it from scratch. So, and all you have to do there is just set vertical, and then you can change the viewport height. So for this example, if I wanted to make this scroll, it's already got a vertical viewport height. And so all I have to do is just extend this down. And in my prototype right here, let's just make it a little bit bigger. If I scroll through, now you basically have a scrolling experience.
Nice.
Cool. So let's see. Let's go ahead and put this back here. And let's see kind of how this feels from the start to the end. So user is, let's go to live preview. All right, so user is here on the first screen. They tap on enter your last name. It pulls up the keyboard, and from the keyboard, we're gonna emulate that they're typing in their name. And then from here, we're gonna keep tapping. You'll see that the labels moved up, and then that the actual name is in the input field. And then from there, we're gonna hit login. And then we get to the wireframe of the schedule page, which we'll work on. And from there, what we're gonna do is we're just gonna test to see how that trending page looks that we just worked on. Jess's laptop is a 13-inch, by the way, but my work laptop's 15. This is for travel. And so tab here, and so now we've got that trending page. So you can see what we just worked on right now, and I can get a feel for if the target areas that I'm tapping between feel right, and so on and so forth. And pretty soon we're gonna pop in that guy, right? If we get a XD file.
Ah, yeah, if we receive the XD file. Yeah, if you want to include that.
Yeah, I would.
Designed by Mario, yeah.
Yeah, for sure. Let's do it. And so from here, we will go ahead and keep fleshing out the rest of the pages, but now you can see it in real time, you can get a feel for it, and it feels pretty good so far.
Yeah.
Cool. So something that happened. So between the time we started the stream and looking at the posters and looking at this wireframe, apparently I missed a memo, but yellow is a very important color in our design. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna amend my global palettes. And so right now, you can see I have red and blue and everything like that. And I'm going to actually change the blue to whatever that color is, which is, I think it's yellow, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
So let's just make another thing here. Let's make it and then I'm actually going to go ahead and change, let's experiment. Let's see how it looks when we zoom out. We've got these two pages to play with. What does this look like when I change this to, let's see, to yellow. It's gonna be very interesting. Yeah, bam. And I don't have anything blue. All right, let's try the gradient. Edit and change this to being yellow. It looks interesting.
Yeah.
Okay, let's try it not with the red. Let's edit it to this blue side. That looks cool, actually.
Yeah, could be something warm.
Something warm. Let's go with that for now, and then bring that yellow in a little bit more. Yeah, like it? Yeah, me too.
And what's good is that it's
yeah.
It changed also in the repeat grid.
Yep, in the repeat grid. Oh yeah. So going into here, it even changed it there. Yep. It can't hurt your eyes. Good point. Let me try one more thing with this gradient, which is, let's change the red color to being this black. Feels a little too cold. Well, let's just keep playing with it for a while. We'll kind of simmer on it. If someone has a better suggestion, let's go for it. Yellow and teal, maybe a good one. Maybe we could show some to Kristen. So I'm gonna lower these all because they're very bright. All right, cool. And let's actually go ahead and make this pill because there's like gradient overload, black. And so you're basically looking at black. Let's also make this closer to the actual thing you're looking at. We'll think about this offline and see if I think this is nice or not. We'll see. And then from there, we have a trending experience. And we'll actually go ahead and mock up maybe, reverse the gradient. What do you mean reverse the gradient? So are you saying make the yellow go on top?
I guess that's what they want to.
We can play with it. We can play with it. Yeah. Let's see. So let me go ahead and, how can I do this easily? Let's go ahead.
You can actually, like when you were editing the gradients, you take the 2 points.
Oh yeah. All right.
If you go in the assets, yeah.
And then
you take the point from, yeah, exactly.
Come
on.
I can't.
You can move. You can change the value, but you can move.
I can't change. All right. So what I'll do instead, though. Don't worry, we got this. It's all about using your tools the best you can. So we're with this gradient to see what that looks like. Let's go ahead and apply this, and then go ahead and apply this. And
be active in the chat because we will give away posters and illustrations that were made on Adobe Live.
I like it.
By Robzilla, Jingwei.
I like it. And for the sake of this gradient right here, actually, I'm going to make the actual gradient a little bit more prominent red.
Okay.
Since that's just, it's kind of there, so it's a little warm. Cool. And that actually affects, I don't know why that one's...
Oh, that's it.
Oops. There. And then this one. Cool. All right. So check and flow done. Trend feed good enough for now.
Do you want me to airdrop you the profile page by Laura?
Yes. Let's do that. Airdrop. Do I need a... Are we on? Do I show? Don't see. Allow me to be discovered by everyone. Don't share me on things. Do you see me? I don't see you. Are you on the same Wi-Fi?
Where are you?
I'm on the one in here.
Are we on the same? Maybe not.
Oh, no, we're not.
Maybe we are.
Nope. Yeah, we're on a different one. Adobe Quote?
It should be.
We're on different Wi-Fi.
Yeah, it should work. Okay.
It should? All right. Well.
I will go on yours.
Okay.
No. And of course it worked, and I switched.
No. Well, so as he's doing that,
yeah, just leave it open and. Okay, I think I saw you. I think that's you. Are you MacBook Pro 79?
I don't know. Whoa, I just disappeared. Yes, hold on. Do you see me? No, I'm not. I think he just gave it to somebody.
Uh-oh.
I think he just gave it to somebody random.
Your design is somewhere. Someone declined my request. Okay.
They knew right away. Okay. Well, we'll figure it out.
Yeah.
In the meantime, I'm going to create a sort of a modal for when you as a user click on the actual image that we're looking at. And I'm going to go ahead and make it black, put an opacity on it so it's kind of darker. And we're going to add a sort of bigger image that shows this lady who we clicked on. And she is this hipster person. And we're going to add a drop shadow, which I haven't actually showed. So in addition to fill and border, you've also got shadow and background blur. For this object, we're going to actually go ahead and add a shadow so there's a little bit more depth. We're going to make it pretty pronounced. And then from there, I'll go ahead and show background blur, even though we're not going to use it. So, okay. So background blur. Awesome feature. So you can basically go ahead and click on background blur. And if you notice, when I made the modal originally, it was at like 30% opacity or something. So you couldn't see the blur effects when I clicked on blur as well. But let's just put it to 100, which is when you're going to see it the best. And you click on background blur. And what it gives you is 3 properties. It allows you to basically control the blur amount. And by the way, if you never know what the icons are, you just have to hover over them with your mouse and it'll show the tooltip. It shows you the brightness, which I'll show you guys in a second. And then it shows you the opacity of the actual effect. And so the one I like to use the most is actually the top one, which lets you go from super sharp, not blurry at all, to a little bit blurry, right? So if I wanted to do some kind of blur right there, and then I wanted to maybe even make it darker, the whole thing darker, I could go ahead and do that and make sort of a modal right there. And then in terms of the opacity of the actual thing, from originally the color to it being this background blur effect, that's what the last one does. But I don't like background blurs for this case. I just want a simple modal, so that was just more to show you guys what that looks like. Awesome. And
And we have a winner for the posters.
Awesome.
I know, Francisco, if you can show the posters, just to make sure what you're talking about. Yes, so...
these are so cool.
The Mr. T by Robzilla, the Swimming Pool Party by Jingwei, and the Travel Tags by Christine Herrin. And this is someone who participated a lot today and who has a lot of luck. So I will let you read the name.
Your lucky day is Lori Manasash. I totally butchered your name. I'm sorry.
This is Laure.
Laure.
Yeah.
Laure Manasash.
Manarange.
Manarange. That's an R.
She's the one who did also the profile page.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So
everything. She's
awesome.
killing it today. She's killing it.
She is killing it.
So you will get the posters and also because also the socks. Yeah.
Very cool. Awesome.
She's like.
Congratulations. You get everything.
She's saying WTF.
There we go.
Yeah.
All right. Sorry. I apologize. It looked like an S when I saw the Post-it note. Okay, cool. So
this one was random. She was picking someone randomly in the chat. So that's.
Jeez, that's awesome. Okay, cool. So what you're
saying? Il faut jouer au loto. Faut jouer au loto aujourd'hui.
What is that?
What? Don't worry.
Okay. All right. Cool. So we have. I'm gonna go ahead and actually. What am I doing right now? I was gonna take this and make it a button, but I'm gonna actually just make an ellipse and make a circle. And from there, it's gonna go right here. It's gonna have a If you right click on something and you copy it, or if you just click on it and then you copy it and you go to another object and you right click on it, you actually have the option to paste appearance, or you can hit the shortcut there and it'll paste the appearance being, in this case I made a drop shadow, and so that's kind of how that part works. So there, a very, very bad drop shadow. Let's actually make it subtle.
Hi Rob.
And then
thanks for joining.
There's an X, temporary X.
Okay.
And now this lame model has a lame X, and that will adjust it some other day, not today. And
you can align it. Maybe. Is it aligned?
Is it?
Or is it just
okay, fine. I'll align it.
They are very picky. Yeah.
No, it's not. It's not aligned. It's object. But it's gotta be in terms of the optical. Right, there we go. All right, it's enough. It's enough. We're not even gonna use that X. Come on.
Okay. So airdrop.
Yep.
Still don't have anything with airdrop. Okay.
Oh wait, hold on.
But you see me, so that's weird. Can you send me something? I just want to understand what's the name of your computer.
What is this? Okay.
Yeah. Send me a screenshot. Oh, here you go. That's you.
Yeah. Hey, yeah, you can take it. It's just a
don't,
screenshot.
Don't disappear. Don't disappear. Ah! It's like you're not accepting my stuff. Yeah, it's like you don't want me to. Let me show you.
What?
Oh, she disappeared now. Oh,
what?
I don't know.
All right. Why don't you just email it to me?
Okay,
that works. Okay, cool. Well, technology fails. In the meantime, I'm going to put another invisible box right here. It's going to be at opacity of 0, and then now in prototype mode, which is also Control-Tab if you want to switch between the two, I'm going to go ahead and link this icon here, this avatar image, whatever you want to call it here, to this one, and it'll dissolve, which means when I prototype it, it will look like this. Bam! And now we have an interaction that shows a bigger image.
The lightbox effects.
Yes. And to go back, we want to specifically have it that way this X, maybe, will take you back to this prior screen. We also want the whole thing basically to do it, maybe. And so we're going to go ahead and... let's see, where's that opacity? Where did I put it? Did I put it in? See, this is why you should name layers sometimes. Hipster girl. There she is. All right, so this thing right here will go here. And what that means is when I go between the two, I click, and I can also go away, and now we have two states. Cool. All right, so that's the trend screen.
We received another profile page, so I want to be fair and show.
Oh, yeah.
With Thomas Green.
Yep. UX designer. Very nice.
Canada.
Oh, GitHub too.
Interesting. So
you
can
swipe. Or not GitHub, Snapchat. Yep. Cool.
Looks nice.
Very cool. Awesome. All right. Did you email?
Oh, design ultraviolet. Very good. I emailed it. Yeah. If you want to check your emails.
I will check my emails.
Hiding your screen.
Thank you. Very appreciative. All right. Cool. Let's download this. Cool, got it.
Checking, yeah, we're receiving even more posters. This is awesome.
Very awesome.
Thanks for sharing, and we will review all these posters in about 10 minutes, Jessica.
All right. So we're still, the verdict's still out on what we're gonna use, or no, we picked this one, right? Okay. So we have this comp right here, which is really awesome mobile screen, and I'm actually just going to show you that it's pretty easy to go from XD file to XD file. I'm gonna click the artboard, and then I'm gonna copy it, and I'm gonna paste it. Bam. So, and so all of the objects are still there. This is a cool pattern. Let's take a look at it. So, repeat grid, actually, very creative, love it. So, if you take this repeat grid that I'm gonna now steal, and I'm gonna actually apply it to, I'm gonna take this thing, move it away. Let's actually take everything in here, but that, and then I'll just get rid of this one. Actually, I'll keep it for future use, the elements right there. And so we have this right here, and I like this repeat grid a lot. I'm gonna use it somewhere else, I don't know where yet. Let's put it on the background of this trending page. And in the background, wow, that just made this comp look way nicer. So now what we have is...
Can you increase the contrast?
Yes, I can.
Of one element.
So let's
see.
What is this thing? Oh, it's a line. Okay.
It's a line border.
It's
black already. So maybe there is an opacity on the item or something. Yeah. Or maybe on the grid?
Oh yeah, the opacity on the grid. Oh, that's too much. So it was at 5. I put it to 10. Can you see it? Nope.
10. It's a bit...
20? Oh, too much. 15. There.
15. Okay.
15.
Now you can feel it.
Nice. And so I basically took this beautiful repeat grid pattern, which is a really creative way of adding those elements even within this app. And I'm going to actually use it for some other stuff. Wow. And then so from here we've got even this love right here. And let's see. Maybe I'll add it here. I don't know. Why not? Why not go crazy? And actually, for this instance, maybe instead of black, I'm going to make it white. So it feels a little different. And then now we've got a fun motif. So, oh, paste it here too. Oops. And that. And might be too noisy. We'll see. We'll live with it. We'll let it live for a day, and then thank you. I think the pattern looks great too. Thank you for offering that great pattern and enhancing this whole UI. Cool. And that's actually, you know, part of the creative process and why prototyping's so great and that collaboration's so okay, right? Really adding that touch. So easy to kind of port those elements in. Love it. Yeah, we'll sit on it for a while, Joshua. We'll see if it's too noisy or not. You know, let's see how it goes. Okay, cool. And tomorrow, so I can do communicate in 1 second. It's basically going to be a Slack icon. Our conference has Slack integration.
Wow.
Yes.
So
and it's going to say... Ooh. It's going to say...
Join us on Slack?
Yes, basically. It's going to say... join us.
It's good when you can rely on other people technology.
Yeah. You know, we're on a tight budget. Conferences.
Don't rely on AirDrop.
Yeah.
But you can rely on
Join us. Join our Slack channel to find friends, make lunch plans, and more. Woo! Actually, let's just do this so it's actually good. All right, cool. Woo! And it fits. It fits. And what is our Slack channel going to be called? d2dconf.slack.com. And
don't take it.
Huh?
They will take it now. Someone will take it.
All right.
That's fine. It's a fictional conference.
It's a fictional conference. It's gonna. This icon's gonna go on top. And actually, let's go ahead and make it into a little bit smaller. Okay, cool. Yeah. Cool. So, and then there will be a link.
Jesus says 1970, 4 megabytes of RAM to send rocket to space. 2018, 2 gigabit of RAM to run Slack.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
But hey, we've all got Slack probably installed on our phone. You're probably using it. Check other Slack channels. So we're gonna use that technology to use what Slack's good for, which is communication. Awesome. Sweet. And so let's check in with our prototype on our device. So
you know that Slack is there's an integration with Creative Cloud.
No, I didn't know that.
Yeah, when you receive like a new, I don't know, like a new file in a shell folder, like you can be notified on Slack. There is an API.
Oh,
they talk together. Yeah.
Well, now I know. I'm gonna take some more things away. All right, so we're looking at our prototype.
Use the GoPro
oh yeah, that would. Where is it? Right
yeah,
there?
just yeah.
How do I move the mouse? Okay, cool. All right, so we have our prototype here. And we're going to just kind of go through it and make sure it feels good. I'm going to dismiss the fact that there are some fonts that are needed. And I'm going to click on the last name because I want to type in my name. Your last name when not filled out is Chai. Anyway, so... No, right?
Chai latte.
Yeah, chai latte. And then from there, I'm going to pretend I'm typing here. I typed here. Everything's filled out. I hit login. We still have a wire. We'll work on that tomorrow. And so the schedule will be here. You'll be able to go through it. And so between these tabs, I'm going to go between trending, and now we have this beautiful trending page. You can interact with this modal. Yep. Hit X. I want to go to this lovely interstitial join our Slack community page. And then we're going to pop, and then we've got actually the profile. Yes. Actually, what am I going to do tomorrow? That's
Everything is done.
So anyway, now we can basically easily see that we can go between these. I will actually go ahead and add an active state. So one thing these are all missing is in kind of interacting with this prototype, and this should take 2 seconds, is on the schedule page, we'll go ahead and add a little cute active state, maybe something like this.
Oh, okay.
And then it'll actually glow. So I'm gonna use shadow, but not for shadow. I'm gonna use it for a glow. So I'm gonna increase the opacity here. I'm gonna change the Y to being like -5, so it goes upwards, or maybe -2. I'm gonna increase the blur to 12, and then from there, gonna add a glow. The glow is gonna be, oops, just kidding. I wish I could have done that. Where did glow go? Shadow, glow. It's gonna be yellow. And so, and actually this is going to be yellow too. So what this will indicate is...
this is the active.
Yep, depending on what tab you're in. So this is off-centered. There we go. Thank you, helper. We're going to have it for schedule. For trend, we're going to have it for conference. And then we're going to do it last for profile.
Awesome.
Oops. What the...
What?
I think I just, there we go. And then artboard, go. All right, and this is profile. And now, when we look at the GoPro thing again, and let's see, cool. So between here, so you can see that now you have an active state. So when you're looking at the different tabs, you can see, oh, I'm in the trending one, I'm in this one, and able to really kind of look at that. So there we have it.
Awesome.
All right.
Thanks, Jessica. So it's time to review the posters that they had to create during your show, and you have to pick the one you prefer, okay?
Cool.
So we have this new one. Okay, create and share. Designer to designer. Good use of the logo in Toronto.
Yep.
We have,
that one's fun.
Interesting. Yeah.
Oh, it's not even the two-part relation, but just this kind of, that's deep. I like it.
It's good. Is it a line? Let's talk. Oh, that's a good one.
It's
an optical illusion.
It does. It looks like one of those. It is?
It is, yeah.
That's cool. That's cool.
It's a good one.
I miss those, yeah.
That's funny.
You get people staring at your poster.
Sharing ideas mean better results. Okay. Conceptual here.
Abstract, yep.
Oh,
so it feels very Polarand.
Very designy,
Polarand, Yep. And a little like, is the moon there because of the triple
probably.
Moon phenomenon this morning?
Probably.
That's awesome.
And I can tell that the apple comes from
Adobe Stock.
That's good.
Nice.
I like that.
Yep. Oh, that's cute.
Interesting. Yeah, with this banner like going inside the logo.
Yep, I like it.
It's dark. It's intense.
It's very it's mysterious. Yeah.
Get your creative burst. Yeah, with a nice illustration.
Yep.
Good job. There's no secret, just do the work. These are ones that we reviewed during the show already.
The teaser.
This one is a teaser.
It's a statement piece. Yep.
This one very arty. Great illustration. E2D, with two designers sharing the same ideas.
This is nice.
Yeah,
it's happy.
Playful.
It makes me smile when I look at it. Yep. Awesome stuff. Very cool.
With the joke, like things aren't always black and white. Good one. The isometric treatment.
That one's cool. Nice use of color.
This one also. Very nice composition.
Very nice. Yep. Oh yeah.
Typography trick.
Using that the counter space. Very cool.
Yeah, and save the trees.
And then,
I need to update. I need to update.
What?
I don't know. Who knows? Maybe. You see? He did something.
Oh. Okay, cool. A series. Oh, awesome.
Coffee person to tea person.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Share your thoughts, create your taste.
Oh, that's cute. Oh, this is Serif. I love it. Yep.
And this is
Space.
For space. Very inspired by space and the moon today.
That one's fun.
And this one also like very good treatment.
Oh, there's
nice
so many.
Composition. It's tough. So sometimes you reward an idea, a concept or an execution.
I do like,
because it's impossible to tell like which one is the best. Like it doesn't make any sense.
No, they're all really good. I like them all.
And seeing them in the street.
Yeah.
It really adds something. Like I don't know if you feel the same way, but using like a mock-up template, like you, it really gives much more information about how you would perceive this poster, during the day. Okay, you have to pick one.
All right,
Jessica.
I think I'm gonna pick. I don't know. They're hard. I think I'll pick the one that has 4, and the reason why is because I like that there is a theme, that there's a duality. I love the fact that it really touches on all sorts of creativity from like the top one is like digital to vector, which is really cool. The coffee, I think it's nice. It's a series. I could see a lot of that. The tension, it's fun.
Okay, you like the fact that it's a series. Yeah, it's a nice idea.
Just because it's a serif. I do like serif.
It's a serif. It's a series.
Yeah, that's true.
Serif. And and there is a concept behind. Yeah, good job, Hafid Idris. Where are you from? Hafid, you're from Indonesia. Wow!
Congratulations.
Very late for a friend to watch us. So.
Yep, but congratulations.
Yeah. Good job. Yeah. Oh, and he did the brain poop. I think maybe he won yesterday already.
Oh, what?
He did. Oh my God, Hadif, you're too good. So you won't be able to win a Creative Cloud subscription, but we will send you something else because you cannot win it twice. But good job. I mean, this is great.
Very cool.
Good job.
All right.
Very talented viewers watching us every day. This is just amazing every week on Adobe Live. So you will be back tomorrow. Okay, same time. And stay tuned. We will be back in less than 5 minutes with Tracy. She will continue her illustration. I called it the Statue of Liberty with a pen brush. I don't know if it makes sense. Yeah, it makes sense. Okay, so that's fine. So she will be like, and there was someone saying today, I've watched all the replays to understand how she works. This is amazing. So
very cool. Awesome.
She will continue today. Stay tuned and be there in less than 5 minutes on behance.net/live. Bye, everyone.
Bye.